Welcome back to informational Metalstorm content from Iris Gaming. Apologies for the delay since the last video. Some real life things got in the way, as well as some illness that you can maybe still hear in my voice. This video is going to be a comparison of the two aircraft you have to choose between at Hangar Level 4 in Metalstorm, the A-6 Intruder and the MiG-21 Fishbed. As always, feedback on the content is appreciated, as are subscriptions to help the channel, and if you've already subscribed, thank you and welcome back. First, a quick note that I won't be doing one of these videos for every hangar level, although I will be doing comparison videos for similar aircraft or families of aircraft. The reason is that while everyone has the same first three planes, and the same choice when they get to this point, hangar contents start to diverge very quickly after that based on the choices you make. Given that you can unlock any of your available planes, and not just ones from the highest hangar level in order to progress, doing comparisons among the same hangar level is not super useful in terms of helping people choose what to unlock. However, at level 4 everyone has the same choice to make. There are no other options. This is also an interesting choice to discuss. In some ways, it's very easy. These are two very different planes, so the difference between them is not subtle. In other ways, it's hard. The difference is about playstyle and feel, not stats, so doing the comparisons only gets you so far. Neither of these is a top-tier aircraft, so in that sense there's no right answer either. That said, we will look at some stat comparisons, and I do have both a personal favorite here and some overall recommendations. Let's get into the basic stat comparison between these two planes. Right away, it should be clear that these are two very different planes. We have rockets versus missiles, high hit points versus low, and fast and nimble versus slow. The A-6 Intruder is a flying brick. Armor plating and 210 hit points make it quite tanky, while 1,000 kilometers per hour is quite slow. There are slower aircraft in the game, but not many. That's paired with 30 meters per second squared acceleration, but also 30 full seconds of afterburner, and you'll need it. 33 degrees per second turn rate is not the best, but also not the worst out there. It's still not a dogfighter though. In terms of other defense, 5 flares is quite nice, and cool engines also helps with IR missile lock ranges. For cannons, this is the first example of an external cannon. It's a pretty decent precision cannon, trading off a lack of overheat time for the need to refill the ammo at rearm points. There are notably no missiles, just rockets, making this purely a close-range fighter. These rockets are of the spam them quickly variety. You have a lot, along with a decent fire rate and standard damage and range. The special ability is interesting. It's the only team buff ability in the game right now. When activated, it increases radar lock times on all aircraft in a range around you, including yourself, for 10 seconds. You have to use it at the right time, since if nobody is trying to lock anyone in range, you've just wasted it. This is easier with a coordinated team, but quite possible solo. Because it also protects you, you can also just use it to protect yourself when needed. The MiG-21 Fishbed, on the other hand, is the titular lawn dart. Fast, great acceleration, and a boost ability to increase both even more. It has decent turning and energy retention too. It's not the best for a light fighter, but more than good enough. It also has no traits and flies normally. Half of the afterburner fuel is in a drop tank, which is the first instance of this you'll see. This has pluses and minuses, since it doesn't regenerate naturally, but you can use it all when burning for a rearm point, since that will refill it instantly. The cannon is fine these days, since the recent buff. Nothing special, but not terrible anymore. The missiles are another first instance that you'll see of something, which is the lower level Russian IR missiles. These have faster lock times at 0.8 seconds, but have less range and slightly less damage. To make up for it, it carries 6 instead of the usual 4. The special ability is a speed and acceleration boost. Unlike the Mirage M3, you can use it as much as you want per life, but it has a cooldown based on how long you used it for, with short bursts giving short cooldowns, etc. It does also burn afterburner fuel, which is another check on repeated usage. Still, it's really useful for moving around the map or ducking behind cover quickly, and plays to the strengths of the Fishbed nicely. So now that you understand a little more about the planes, what should you get? Let's get some easy cases out of the way first. If you know you want to skip attack planes completely, for whatever reason, you can. Get the Fishbed here, and then every other level also has other choices or previous level planes to take in order to avoid them. If you think you'll really like attack planes, or if you're not yet sure, then I would still argue not to start with the A-6, although you might end up getting it later if you decide you like the class. Let's look at a comparison of attack planes to see why. One quick note is that the attack planes in Metalstorm are clustered at lower levels, much like light fighters. This is 5 of the 7 in the game, and the two not listed are the A-10 and Su-34 at Hangar levels 14 and 16 respectively. Of these, you'll need to wait a bit for the Su-25 Frogfoot at level 9, but these are otherwise all attainable reasonably quickly. From this list, the A4, Su-22, and GR3 all fly better than the A6, with higher speeds, better acceleration, and mostly better turning. The Su-22 is almost just as tanky. All of them have decent cannons, and don't require rearming, apart from the A4's secondary cannon. Notably, all of the others carry some missiles, even if just 2 standard IRs like the A4. The GR3 even gets medium-range IRs, while the Su-22 gets the same Russian IRs as the Fishbed, and thus gets 4 of them. In terms of rockets, the Su-22 has the similar spam them quickly variety, the GR3 slightly less so, but gets better range and speed, and the A4 and Frogfoot need more accuracy, but make up for it in damage and or range. Given all of this, if you want to try an attack plane, I would start with either the A4 or Su-22, both of which are attainable quite quickly. If you end up liking attack planes and want a slower, tankier option, then the Frogfoot is still great, even after the recent nerfs. Finally, what choice did I personally make here? Well, I had a slightly different choice, since Starform reworked these early Hangar levels since I did them. Previously, the A6 was the required level 3 unlock, and level 4 was a choice between the Mirage M3 and the MiG-21. I chose the MiG-21 over the M3, so part of the reason I made this comparison is that I've flown both of these choices extensively. I wasn't super interested in attack planes, so I skipped the A4 and got the Su-22 as an early introduction to swing wings, plus more of the fast-locking Russian IRs that I like from the MiG-21. Currently that and the A6 are still my only 2 attack planes, although I may pick up the Su-34 or GR3 later in my journey to fill out some Hangar levels. If I was leveling now, I would get the Fishbed over the A6 without question, and then possibly skip attack planes completely. The A6 will teach you about positioning, being deliberate with your movements around the map, and close-range play. I just can't stand the speed personally. I enjoy flying the Su-22 much more, and if I'm on a touchscreen I can mostly ignore the rockets and fly it as an armored missile carrier. To recap, the A6 can be good, it's tanky but achingly slow. The Fishbed is lots of fun, even if it's not a top-tier light fighter. My recommendation is to get it and pick up one of the other early choices if you're interested in attack planes instead. Thanks for watching. Feedback always welcome and appreciated. If you found this content helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel get off the ground. And until next time, fly well.